Hey, John Hickok here, off-brand Hickok 45, coming at you. Going to talk about this Trojan Firearms 9mm AR pistol. It is the Raze Island, as they call it, and it's just a neat little pistol. And wanted to kind of shoot it some and give you some a little information about it and some experiences I've had with it so far. I've had it for, I guess, maybe let's see, a pretty good while now, like few months, I think. Pretty good while. Shot it quite a bit, put a bunch of rounds through it already, so I'll be able to tell you a decent amount of things about it. But before I get into that anymore, okay, so let's get on with it. I'm going to shoot some first, as per the customary thing that we do. Look at that, I got this fancy OD green Glock mag, so that if you drop it in the woods, don't even bother looking for it. You're not going to find it. Unless it's the winter time, you might. Okay, I'm just going to start out on some close stuff. Oh yeah, I've got a Trojan MRO up on top of here. And you guys that have seen me in videos from way back in the day, you probably heard me talk about how I can't see red dot sights very well. And I woke up one day and I could see them all of a sudden. No, not really. I still can't see them that great, but I think I just got a little bit less picky than I was before, and I kind of can make them work for me. They're just so handy, you know. I like regular scopes. I can see them more clearly, just a regular etched reticle. But there's just something really nice and convenient about these things. So I've kind of learned to deal with it, even though my eyes don't see the dot super clearly. Because for close range, it's fine. Okay, here we go. The stock extended. All right, it's not a great start. All right, got that thing out of there. Try to get that bowling pin around there. Got him. Red 2-liter. Hog. All right. So these 9mm ARs have been getting really popular in general, so it's always nice to have more of those out there, because I think kind of just as an overview, the general appeal of these, take my ears off here while I talk at you some about this thing. The general appeal of these is you have a pistol caliber carbine, which people really like, especially, you know, I think they have some really nice applications for home defense. Not as crazy loud as a rifle round. You know, you still get really high capacity, especially something that takes Glock magazines. You know, there's lots of good, 9mm ammo out there, hollow points or whatever. Some people say you don't have to worry about maybe over penetration as much with pistol calibers. You know, I'm not a scientist on that, but I've heard people say that. But it enables you to have a pistol caliber that you can shoulder and shoot pretty accurately. And also now that with these SB Tactical braces that are available now, it really makes them more of a viable option, because you essentially have what used to be considered an SBR, but now you have something that's, you can buy without going through a bunch of paperwork, that you can shoot really easily and put on your shoulder and all that good stuff. And SB Tactical has really changed the game on that, and there's some others out there too. Now, to get into some negatives, this particular brace, people tend to like these. This is the PDW version, and I see nothing but good things about these. But for some reason, on this particular pistol, it does not want to stay tight. You saw just in that little shooting I just did there, and I tightened it before the video. It keeps coming loose. I even took it to a gunsmith, and they finagled some stuff to try to keep it on there, and it stayed on for a while. But after a few hundred rounds, it started coming loose again. So every time I shoot it, every mag, I've got to come back here and tighten it up. So that's one thing that's kind of annoying. If I hang on to this rifle or this pistol for a while, I'll probably put a different one on there, one that will stay tight, you know, because that's pretty annoying. So I don't know whose fault that is, if it has something to do with the pistol itself or it's the brace. I don't know. That's just how it is on this thing. It comes loose. Now the other negative, get some of the negatives out of the way. The other negative is the charging handle. So when I first got this thing, you notice it's got a BCM charging handle in it right now. And the reason for that is because the original one was not locking up all the way, and it was popping me in the nose. Like every few shots, it was coming back and popping me in the nose. I can actually demonstrate this. Show you. All right, let's put this one in. Say no, I'm not just BSing you. All right, so when I push that in there, see how it doesn't want to latch? It needs to come up there a little bit further. It doesn't want to go down. You guys can see that on the camera. Now if I push it harder, well, you know, it'll latch, but sometimes it wasn't latching. All right, now let me put in the other one, BCM. And there's nothing special about BCM. I mean, they're just common, and we happen to have one, and it works fine. So we replaced it with this, and I'll do the same thing. See, it latches. Like I'm trying to make it not latch, and I can't. You know, I'm pushing it really slowly and carefully. See, it won't not latch. So, you know, I don't know if that's just a design flaw of this, but you know, that's a negative, of course. You might have to, if you buy one of these, you might have to replace that. And these things aren't cheap. They retail at $16.99. Now, I got this direct from Trojan. I bought it. They gave me like a 20%, just in full disclosure, they gave me like a 20% discount on it, and they threw in this paint job for free, which is cool. It's kind of like a desert camo or whatever. It looks pretty neat. You know, but I had spent my own money, cash, on this thing, and it was a little frustrating to have those issues with a gun that expensive, you know. So those are two big things that were kind of annoying. And then the other thing is the bolt doesn't lock to the rear on an empty magazine, and that's just kind of a personal preference thing. I think I would rather that it did on this, but you know, that's just kind of whatever you think. I mean, some people may prefer that it doesn't. But all right, let's shoot it some more. Get my secondary ears and eyes back on, and then here in a second I will show you one thing that is kind of special about this gun. Pistol. People get weird about the word gun. It's just slang. There's nothing wrong with it, even if it's not 100% accurate. Okay, let's go ahead and shoot the paper target. I'm gonna try to zero in, see if I kind of low, which to be expected, but I was aiming right at the middle. And you've got of course the difference between the barrel axis and the sight being up high. Let's try the red plates over there. All right, shoot the gong. Oh, we got some 2 liters. We got this orange one. All right, and despite what you saw earlier in the video, it has been pretty reliable. I've put a lot of rounds through it, and that's the first malfunction I've actually had in a pretty good while. Now, when I first got it, it had a few issues, but it just kind of was a break-in. And then after like maybe 2 or 3 mags, then it basically had almost no problems. Okay, so one thing that's kind of fun about this, and of course, I didn't mention it has a 7.5-inch barrel, which, again, you know, this is a pistol. It is not a rifle, legal terms. I keep wanting to call it a rifle because that's, you know, for all intents and purposes, it is a rifle, but legally, it is defined as a pistol. So you can't put a regular stock on there. That's why you're able to have the 7.5 inch barrel that's under 16 inches, all that kind of stuff. If you're unclear on all that, there's other, other sources for that. So one thing that's fun about this rifle, and it's a characteristic of a lot of 9mm ARs especially, and because of the recent YouTube I don't want to use that word either. Let's see, people of influence that want to, impose their ideas on us. Almost called it like the grammar. People, I think they listen to the videos and they hear the things that we say, and they base the reach of the video off of that. So let's just say, let's call this a shooting trick that I'm going to do with this rifle, this pistol. See, keep doing it. So check out this cool shooting trick that you can do with this. We'll take out this watermelon in case you didn't notice. That's what's happening. And probably that 2-liter back there will probably get hit. What do you think about that? It's pretty fun. As you know, and look, see, it's loose again. I'm a full auto nut. I love full auto. Actually, recently, maybe could be acquiring a full auto myself, going through the process, and I love it. And so whenever you can do a nice shooting trick with certain firearms, it's a lot of fun. Even though it's not the real thing, it's still fun. And there's something about 9mm with the level of recoil, and then it has a really nice trigger. Trojan, they make their own triggers and they put really nice triggers in there, and it's I don't know what it is, but it's just like the perfect amount of recoil to kind of get that back and forth action that you need for that very special shooting trick that the media and YouTube does not like. Let's do it again. It's too much fun. Let's you know what? Let's do it on the target. I'm gonna get a lot closer, and I'll try. I mean, I got to do it from the hip. I can do it from the shoulder a little bit. I'll show you guys. It tends to want to hang up on me when I do it from the shoulder, and I can't really hold it out as long. But I'll do a couple just to show you, how incredibly easy it is with this thing. I was getting like 2 rounds or something like that. Sometimes it'll do 3, but from the hip is the best way to do it. And it's pretty smooth. A lot of guns I've done this with, you can get it going for a while. If you get a string like 8 or 9 shots, it feels like a big deal. But that one, man, it's so easy. You don't even have to do the belt loop trick or any of that. It just runs like a top. Does make that loosen up a lot. So I don't know. Overall, it's a really nice little pistol. It's definitely on the higher end of these, but you get higher end components for the most part. I feel like things like this with the charging handle should have been worked out on a gun like this. And again, I don't know enough about why this keeps coming loose. I don't know if it's just this specific firearm, or it's kind of these things do this in general, or because I've been doing shooting tricks with it way too much. I don't know. But that's kind of annoying. But other than those two things, it seems like a really solid, reliable 9mm AR pistol. It's a nice gun. Let's shoot it some more. I will say I probably wouldn't spend anywhere near that much on one of these again. I will say that. I think that there's a lot of these you can get out there for much cheaper that will do as well as this. But sometimes it's nice to have really high-end stuff, and that you got all the high-end components on this. All right, let's go for that middle red plate, the bigger red plate. All right, let's go to the gong. That's weird. Okay. All right, let's take out the last of these 2 liters. One thing that's always weird about 9mm ARs is you think, okay, 9mm versus 5.56, you think of it as a much lighter, smaller round, just because of the blast and the velocity of a 5.56. But the 9, bounces you around a lot more. Of course, it's a much heavier bullet, but it really bounces you around. But the advantage of having 9mm and something like this is you're going to be able to shoot it far more accurately. I don't care how good you are with a handgun, you're going to shoot this better. And being able to put it on your shoulder and have 33 rounds at your disposal, that's a cool thing. I'm definitely sold on the concept of a 9mm AR pistol, especially with a SP tactical brace on it. If it's working right and everything, it's a really cool concept. But this gun in general, it's I think it's a lot more than I would want to spend on one of these, especially with the issues that I've seen. And as you saw, we had a couple of malfunctions, but I think it's a very nice gun, but probably not something that I would spend money on again. But a lot of fun to shoot, and doing those shooting tricks with 9mm ARs is always a lot of fun, especially if you're a full auto nut like I am. But appreciate you guys for. Oh yeah, one thing just dawned on me. You can get this in for a 9mm Glock mag or the STI magazines. Now I think Glock makes the most sense, but if you have a bunch of STI mags laying around, then maybe that's something that you want to look into. But anyways, the Raze Iland 9mm AR pistol from Trojan Firearms. I hope this gave you some idea about it if you were thinking about one, or if you're just thinking about 9mm pistol in general. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to go to bunkerbranding.com for our t-shirts and stuff. A lot of people still ask us about that. They don't know we have t-shirts. So I always like to throw that out there. But I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Hey, go long. Oh hey, just throwing a little frisbee here on the range. While you're here, I want to remind you to check us out in some other places on the internet and our friends over at Talon Grips. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter under Hickok45, and on Instagram under TheRealHickok45 and John_Hickok45. Also go to bunkerbranding.com for our t-shirts, hats, patches, and stickers. So we appreciate, of course, the support from Talon Grips. Go to talongungrips.com. They make all sorts of different textured grips for handguns and rifles. Dad's been using them for a lot of years. They do great work, and we're happy to have them on board, so please check them out, talongungrips.com. And then also, don't forget, we have videos on Gunstreamer now, so if you're watching them over there, you probably already know about it, but if you're not, you might not, so maybe check that out, gunstreamer.com. And hey, there's some more videos being recommended to you that you should probably be watching right now, so I'll let you go. Thanks.